And we are live. All right. Welcome everybody to the e-commerce work group here on the John Lavinia Success Network. These sessions are designed for us all to get together, those of us that are working on our e-commerce businesses and are trying to help each other through challenges and questions and changes in Amazon and all that kind of stuff. And, I do my best to, do a lot of research and, do a lot of work and then, bring whatever I can learn to these experiences. And hopefully we all do the same thing. So I'm looking forward to tonight's session with you guys. And, I've got a few things that I wanted to talk about. First, as some of you guys know, I always do a little bit of a disclaimer. And I just want everybody to know that, I've been in this about 6 months, like, some of you guys, and maybe I'm a little farther along than others, or maybe not. And so I never want to purport to be or pass myself off to be some e-commerce guru or wizard or whatever. I'm on the path just like everybody else here. And hopefully, we mastermind e-commerce just like we mastermind everything else. So I like to open with some housekeeping. If anybody has any questions or updates or anything like that they want to share about their personal e-commerce journey. So I'll open it up if anybody wants to either ask a question or share a win or anything like that. I know somebody's got a win. Come on, what's the win? All right, I got a win. What?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, Kim, what's up, Kim?
Hi, Stuart. How are you?
Good.
I haven't seen you in a long time. You doing all right?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about the tragedy. That's such a shame. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
You guys hanging in there?
We're hanging in there, Yeah, well, that's a chat for a private conversation. So
yeah, I'm so sorry.
What's your thank you.
Well, my win.
What's your win?
So I conquered my fear. I totally conquered my fear, and I have reached out to suppliers. I have like multiple, emails out there right now. I have like 3 products that I'm working on, and I was responding with a supplier in China on Skype, and kind of a funny story. I had to call my son and say, okay, what do I do? Like, how do I Skype with them? And like, how do I get an account? And like, do I do the real account? What do I do? So anyway, yeah, total win. I'm excited. And I just sent out a quote, an RFQ through Alibaba. So I'll be expecting more quotes to come through on that as well. Responses. I mean, so
that's
yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yep. So
there is a bit of a Rubicon or a mental hurdle when you're dealing with suppliers. And I think it's just one of those things, the more you do it, and even just doing it once, right? It kind of like removes that level of intimidation to the point where then all of a sudden you feel, because I don't know, there's maybe a little bit of that imposter syndrome, right? When we start reaching out and you're like, I'm an Amazon seller or whatever it is. And, you got to own that, right?
Right.
I think after a couple of times of dealing with suppliers, you learn the right questions to ask. You learn, how to not overwhelm your supplier, especially if they're from another country and they don't necessarily speak your language. And so my experience with even just writing emails to suppliers is like 1-line or 2-line little statements, right? Where we might be inclined to put something in more of a paragraph form. If somebody doesn't speak that language, it just seems very overwhelming or whatever. So I always try to just be like really almost like bullet points, just really brief and concise questions separated by double space so that it lends itself, in my experience, to healthier communication or better communication. Awesome.
Yeah,
so,
I have two things real quick. That's kind of how our Skype went. It was pretty very basic. And then my question is, how is there a way to capture that conversation with them in Skype?
I don't know. Does anybody know that you can record on Skype?
Well, we were chatting. We weren't like video Skyping. We were chatting, And I tried to copy that. I scrolled down and copied it and tried to drop it in my Word doc, and it wouldn't do it. So
In that case, I
couldn't.
would suggest the screenshot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how to do a screenshot? Do you have an iPhone, or what do you have?
Well, I was on my laptop, so I have no clue how to do it.
Okay, well, do a quick Google search for whatever. Do you have a Mac or a PC?
PC.
So just somebody might know this.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
But if you just do a search for screenshot,
Yeah, I can do that.
It's like you hit a couple of keys and it just copies whatever's on your.
Okay, cool.
Whatever's in there.
Okay.
Stuart, can I comment on that, Stuart?
Yes, sir.
In one of the talks, what I'm going to say is I do recommend people have a lot of phone calls, they have a lot of chats. You should always confirm in writing in an email anything you're really going to rely on that's very important. A lot of people never commit to writing, sometimes deliberately, and it's just good practice. So keep notes of all the conversations and then say, well, here it is. This is what I understand we're going to do, and set it back. If they don't respond to that, it puts them on the back foot. You know, if there's a dispute, you say, well, wait a minute, here's a clear email. I said it all out. Nobody actually counted any of that. Now, not to say that you're not going to have difficulties, but it's at least it gives you a bit of defensive backup. So it's always worth responding in writing, always. Anything that's important. That's what I do.
Agreed. Good point.
Thank you, Adrian.
No problem.
Yeah, I would add to that while I have some chatty, Skypey, WeChat with our suppliers, agree that anything that's real deal, agreement worthy, anything that you feel like you're agreeing on about something, send it, throw it in an email, send it back, and make sure you can get some sort of a verbal, at least, or written confirmation of that. So good idea.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
Okay, so there's a couple cool things going on with kind of immediate deadlines. The first one I wanted to mention is that tomorrow is the Amazon Accelerate 3-day extravaganza. Does anybody know about this? Has anybody signed up for the Amazon Accelerate? Okay.
I signed up for it. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, and I'll mention, if you don't know about that, I'll pull up a screen share in a minute, but I think it's just amazonaccelerate.com. But the deal is, if you have not registered for that, like this evening is the deadline. So you have to register for that tonight if you want to participate or be involved in that. And it's 3 days of speakers and instruction and webinars and things like that. And you can kind of make your schedule and all that kind of stuff. So it seems super cool. Give me a second. I'll flip that up on the screen just in case anybody wants to see that.
Hey, Stuart, I put the link in the Facebook for Mastermind. And they also said after 24 hours, they are going to post it in our education section of Amazon Seller. So everybody will be able to get to it. You just will not have been able to participate in the live Q&A.
Nice. Thank you for that, Jody. So can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. That comes
So,
through.
Yeah. So if you haven't, you click here and you register. And once you're in, then there's, the agenda, all the different classes and all that, and courses. And I think it starts at like 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. So here you go. So the keynote is tomorrow morning. And then you can look at it based on day and what's going on. You can favorite or star, so that you can create your own little agenda for the courses or the speakers that you want to see. And so there you go with that. And again, pretty sure that if you don't do that soon, then you'll just be able to watch it on the seller account, like you're mentioning there, Jody. Cool. Okay, so there's that. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is that, I'm going to stop the share for a minute here. Okay. Is that tomorrow is the day that, the day of infamy, let's say, that we've been waiting for since July. Does anybody know what happens tomorrow with your Amazon account?
Address.
Has anybody, show of hands, has anybody changed their address on their seller account?
No.
I did, and I had no problem.
It did not freeze my account at all. It just accepted it just fine.
Yep, I had the same experience. Anybody else?
And I've already got a post box, so I just left it.
Nice,
Cool.
nice. Yep. So again, you know, if that's something you wanted to do, I was actually just kind of looking at it last night, and I did a thing. Well, here, you know, where you can add an address. Here, I'll flip to a screen share again. First of all, I'd love you all to just see what we got. Some stuff going on here. What is all happening? I remember when we first started doing this thing, like, you know, months ago, and it was like, you know,
One open order and I'm excited.
And I want to say, like, I remember, like, on one of the early calls, I don't know who it was, maybe it was John Apogee or one of those people. And, you know, we'd been doing this for a few weeks, and somebody got on and, like, midway, and they were like, oh, yeah, well, how successful are you? I'm like, haven't sold anything yet, you know? And so it's just a nice thing to see all this kind of stuff happening. But what I did want to do was just kind of do a quickie, show you, for those of you that have not done such a thing yet.
Stuart, was there 2 places that you changed your address there? Because
No, I
think
only did one, but you could change. I think if you change your official registered address, that's where you get hit with verification.
No, I think there is a return. Oh, the return shipping address.
What did you change?
What I changed,
Both the business address and the return address.
Do you get a PO box?
say that again?
Do you get a PO box, Mary?
I got it. It's anytime mailbox, so it is a street address, but it is a postal station. It's not the post office itself.
Well,
Okay.
this is the, if you remember, I had issues with verification in the beginning because we live rural, and also because in our county, the county clerk requires only the physical address. And so it created issues when we were getting our initial verification for Amazon. So what I wound up doing with our county was I asked them to put both our physical and our mailing address on our business license. And so the address that I changed this to is really just the mailing address component without the physical component. And so, you know, I wasn't, at first I was like, oh, I'll put a new address. And once I did that, I thought it was like to add an address. You know how like when you have like a PayPal account or your Amazon, and it will give you like different options for addresses. Well, once I did that, it was like, boom, and it just showed up. And I was a little worried about what was going to happen, but nothing happened. So there you go. The Amazon apocalypse of changing your business address went through just fine, and I didn't have any issues. Evelyn, were you going to say something?
No, I sent Gail the link for her to sign up because I think
Nice.
she's not done it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling.
Hi, Gail. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay, thanks.
I'm just trying to move this bar. I don't quite understand. You ever, like, I guess you guys don't all share screens all the time, but it's such a pain in the butt. Okay, there we go. Okay.
So Stuart, just a quick question, and this might seem pretty ignorant question, but I mean, I don't have I'm not selling anything right now, so I'm not concerned about what my address is. There's no, like, we don't have to have our address changed today if we're not listing, right? It's just if you're listing that it's going to be revealed to the public if you're listing, right?
I want to say that regardless of whether you have products listed, you have a storefront. If you have a seller account, a pro seller account, and whether or not there's products listed, I think that if somebody were to click on your storefront and get more info on it, that they would then get your physical address, whether or not you're listing products. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
I couldn't see that when I looked at my storefront, which I was a little surprised, but maybe because
It's not.
tomorrow
It
I will
hasn't
probably
happened.
show up.
But if you were to look at your storefront on .ca or .mx, it would show up at this
Oh.
point, because it has been for the whole time, right? This is just strictly about the US market. Anyway, let me,
So quick, Stuart. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead, Evelyn. Yeah, just a quick newbie question. How do I find my storefront on Seller Central?
oh, let's go there.
And in the meantime, you go there, may I say something?
Yes, absolutely.
I had told a lot of people that we lower the type of account we have from a seller account to a personal account, as long as you don't have products yet on the store. What I did find out is when I went into PPC, you do have to have an Amazon Seller Professional account, okay? So if you already open your Amazon Seller account and you're paying $40, you can downgrade to personal, but just keep in mind that by the time your product hits Amazon fulfillment centers, upgrade it again. So you can start your PPC campaign. Just
How long does it take to upgrade it? Is it I know,
immediately.
Instant.
okay, so both are instant? Okay, thank you.
So
Go to
just keep
marketplaces, Stuart.
Okay.
I think view selling. And if you click on one of those, I think it shows it. I want to let you click it.
Because you got to go somewhere else with that. Let's
Oh.
see. So Wayne, I think this is going to answer your question. Okay.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Right. So seller profile here. And so here under your marketplace,
Ah, I learned something new.
be your storefront. Okay.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And so if you put that, and you may actually have to put that in there. So let's do this. Watch. So you go to your marketplace, you hit edit, and you're able to delineate what your storefront is. Otherwise, it's going to be something else, right? And so you have to put in there, and then it'll allow you to do that and click submit. And then you can not only change your storefront name, but you can also change the URL of your shop.
Well, isn't it just a business display name until you have a branded item, then you have a storefront?
No, the storefront is different than stores. So
But up top, the display name, isn't that what we have by
That's
default? Right there, where Laughing Llama.
exactly.
No,
So but if
down.
I were to change this,
Yeah.
then it would change this in real time
Yeah.
Yeah.
up here
Right,
as well.
okay.
But in terms of, and I'm just going to go back. But I'm pretty sure that I had to actually change that and type that in. It wasn't in there from the beginning. And so if I were to go to this, then it shows you what products you have listed. And I don't care, guys. I'll show you my storefront. Let's see.
Okay.
We have
I'm just
one-
looking at mine now, Stuart, and it's sorry, got to flip
one
back there. I'm
product.
flipping between. It
I
says,
will have phones.
yeah, it says storefront link none. Click edit to set. So
Right.
I haven't.
There
So
you go.
I'll have to set that up.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, because I remember it wasn't automatic. And part of the deal was that I was having suppliers ask me for my storefront link, meaning they wanted to see, that I was a legit seller and they wanted to see what products or whatever. So I went ahead and I did that. So there you go. That's a good little tidbit. Okay. And let's see. So more news. What do I want to talk to you about? Let's see. Hold on here. Sorry. I'm going to go back and see if I can stop my share. All right.
Did you take that picture?
What big? The
Your
one
background? Your wallpaper?
No, that is a beautiful shot of El Cap from Yosemite. I want to say that's the Merced River, and maybe on a future segment of Adventures in Mindset, I'll tell you about my experience in this particular spot, which is why I took why I was so excited about this photo. Okay, so let's see what else we got going on here. There's a few new tools that are now available on the Seller Central platform that I just wanted to show you guys. And I'll go back to screen share here.
Can I just ask a quick question about that, the accelerator class tomorrow?
Yeah.
You said it was recorded, or someone said it was recorded. Is that only available, the recording's only available to those who register?
No, I
No.
mean, it's only available unless for Seller Central. So you have to have a verified Amazon seller account to be able to
Okay.
access that.
So you don't have to register for this unless you want to partake in it or participate in the Q&As, really? Okay, thank you.
And Jody, maybe at a certain point when it goes live on the Seller Central, you can throw that in the Facebook page or whatever
Oh,
for
sure.
people to to grab. Okay, so a couple other things here. I'm gonna throw this down to the bottom, and I don't know why it doesn't work. Here it goes. Okay. So a couple things. Let's see. Let's do this one first. Listing quality dashboard. Do you know about this? So you have to be logged in to your Seller Central account. You click on this link here for the listing quality dashboard, and it pulls this up. Okay. Now, when I did this yesterday, it had my product on here, and it had a recommendation for improving my listing quality. And so what I did was I clicked on the improve, and then it brought up the 2 or 3 things on the listing that I had not filled in or completed, namely item weight in ounces or whatever it was, right? And so I added that, and now when I go back, it doesn't show me anything. But in theory, if you had an at-risk listing that maybe is in violation, or I'm assuming that's why it's at risk, right? What else would it be at risk of? Causing problems.
Well, if you have a 1-star review.
Maybe, I'm not even sure why it would be at risk, but again, if it shows up there, then you click, you click on, because it allows you, which is cool, it allows you to take those steps based on what Amazon recommends you to do to improve your listing. So there you go.
So where did you get to that again, Stuart? I did have an at-risk one on a book listing I'd set up that had to do with pricing, because the price I'd set was quite high.
If you just go into your Seller Central account, and I bet you if you type in up top in the search bar, listing quality dashboard, you'll probably come up with something. But this
Maybe
is
under performance, I think, if you look at the performance tab.
That's even another thing. Like, let's go back to this. It really looks like it's its own thing.
Well, click on the performance for a minute and see what's underneath that. Performance notifications.
Yeah.
No, that's a different place, but.
So again, I couldn't find the way to navigate to this directly. So again, it's right in the news component, right? So if you go to your Seller Central account, and you go to news, come on now.
Or that's funny. My news are all the way on the left, and my PPC campaign doesn't appear there.
Interesting.
I have a different browser that Alexandria Wyatt left open for me.
Oh, interesting.
It's early August. Keep going down.
It's August 3rd.
Okay. So, part of what I'm doing for these, sessions is trying to, find these things that nobody else is really talking about. But I felt like that was a good, tool to use. So that one, let's say we've done. So improve the quality of your listings with the listing quality dashboard. Okay. Then there's this thing called the disbursements tracker. Has anybody seen that or used that? So you, at the bottom of this news article, and again, this one's from August 6th, you click on the page, and it tells you and again, I don't mind sharing this because it's not whatever, but essentially, if you're wondering when you're trying to, when your payment schedule is or what's been paid by Amazon or you're expecting something, this is a good way to look at what's been paid to you and what's expected to be paid to you. So I just thought that was a pretty cool tool there, okay? Then I want to talk about inventory performance, okay? Because we all know about the IPI score. And if you didn't know how to get there, you go, what is it? Is it performance? Or is it inventory reports?
Is it under account health and performance?
I'm going to say it's this inventory reports. Let's see what happens here in a second.
Okay.
No. You know what it is? Hold on. Inventory planning, sorry. That's your inventory dashboard, okay? And again, why doesn't it say inventory dashboard on the drop down? Like these things just get to me. They're like why does
They're stuffing things not in a logical file order. Or maybe they're just changing things as they go along, and then it's hard to find them.
They're like, go to your inventory dashboard. You're like, where the hell is my inventory dashboard?
So not user-friendly.
No.
So inventory planning.
Inventory planning is your inventory dashboard. This is where you can restock inventory. And then the new thing is this performance, which I'll hit in a second, okay? But I wanted to show you that if you had an IPI, this is where it would be. Right, and we all know that IPI is your inventory performance index, and if it's more than 500, you can ship as much stuff into FBA as you want. If it's less than 500 at this point for Q4, then you're only allowed 200 units per ASIN and all that kind of stuff. And I would also say that the November 1st inventory deadline and those things, I would assume that your performance index plays into that as well. So you can see in Evelyn, I know you recently put stock in, right? And so here it shows you like, how many days. Has it really been 84 days in inventory? How is that even possible? My stuff only got there like a month ago. That's so bizarre. But then, so if you click on the performance tab, then you get this interesting way of looking at your inventory performance. Again, there's no historical data, meaning I've only had stuff in inventory for a month or whatever, so they don't have enough information to calculate. But what I thought was really interesting was that you get at least some sort of an evaluation of how Amazon is looking at your inventory performance. And note that, I'm good on excess inventory, I'm good on stranded inventory, I'm good on in-stock inventory, and where I'm getting dinged here is the sell-through rate. And I'll tell you in a minute what the sell-through rate is. But if you notice here, if you scroll down from this, remember this is the performance tab, okay? That you get, a breakdown of these things up here: excess inventory, sell-through, stranded inventory, and in stock, right? And you'll notice that the things are green. You're all good, right? The thing that's red, I click here, tells me I'm at the bottom 40% of sellers. The story with the sell-through rate is that this is essentially an equation that takes into account how much inventory you have versus how many products you're selling. And if you have more inventory than sales, you get dinged. So right now, I've got 26 products or whatever, still in inventory for this particular product. And I've made maybe 10 sales in the last week. And so it's happening, but it hasn't caught up yet. And so until there's 90 days of data where your sales are greater than your inventory, that's what Amazon wants. They want more sales than stuff that you have in stock. So I just thought that was really interesting. And then the other thing that I thought was cool was that it gives you a way to improve it. You guys see that? And so when I click on this, actually it was confusing. So let's see what happens here. Whoop. So notice that it says the sell-through, but it doesn't really give me a way to improve that. And so I'm still trying to figure that out. But I did want to show you guys that some of the cool things about Amazon is that they do at least try to give you avenues to fix some of the things in terms of your seller ratings. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let's see what else here. Then the other thing I want to talk about was video uploads. Okay, so did you guys know that very recently Amazon has created a way for us as sellers to upload videos to our listings? Do you guys know that? There are 3 ways that you can upload videos to your listings. One of which is, actually 2 of which you have to be brand registered, okay? And so notice that if I click on where it says upload, they immediately want, they're trying to throw you into a brand registry. So if you are brand registered, meaning with a trademark and approved through either the IP Accelerator program or through the brand registry program, then you have the ability to direct upload videos to your listing. And those videos will appear on the product listing, like under your photos, right? So you get 7 photos on your product listing, you can directly add a video to that. If you are not brand registered, then there's a couple other ways that we can do that. And I wanted to show you because I thought that those were some cool possibilities. Let's see. I'm gonna move this down. Here we go. So, there was a cool little article in the Helium 10. Talks a lot about, conversion, like 80%. If you have a video on your listing, then you're just ridiculously more likely to purchase, right? Even if they don't even look at the video, it somehow gives a lot of credibility to your listing, right? 4 times as many customers would rather watch a video. 2/3 of customers prefer videos that are less than 60 seconds and things like that. And so let's see. Let's scroll down. Do's and don'ts. Okay, that one didn't really do it. So I'm gonna show you something else here. There we go. So, right, if you have brand registry, then the #1 way is like we were saying, where you can literally just add a video to your listing. And unless any of us is brand registered, I don't think anybody can do that. The other thing is the related shorts, okay? And if you are brand registered, then you can upload videos directly to the related short right on your own page. If you are not brand registered, then you can't do that for your own listing. What's interesting is that anybody can post a video to your listing, because your listing is, you do not own your listing, Amazon owns your listing. Did you guys know that? So what's a little goofy about this is that I could go to a competitor's page and upload a video for my product on the competitor's page, and it will show up on this related video thing. You can't do it on your own page, but you can do it on somebody else's page. And conversely, somebody else can go, like a competing seller can go to your page and they can post even like a crappy review of your product. I mean, there's all kinds of interesting things about this, but again, there is the ability to do that. And let me show you real quick on anything. Let me pull up any listing. I'm gonna pull up Mary's listing here. So any product, right? Let's see what I can do here. Anything? Oh, there's bath bombs. I guess we're talking about bath bombs tonight, so that's fine. Okay, you guys see this? Give it a second to load here. So yeah, this is where you would already have the video made, and you would upload it. It'll tell you where it would appear. I love how it says your video may appear on the product page there. And then essentially, you can title your video. You can put a thumbnail for it. And again, this would put this on the product page for this product.
Do you think Amazon is auditing this at all? So somebody could go put whatever they wanted on your listing?
They could, because again, those videos are for the consumer, right? And so, it can be review, it can be you posting a product, posting a video about your product. And yeah, it's interesting that is one of these methods here, okay? Then, so if you do have brand registry, right, then you would go, to your enhanced brand content. You go to manage inventory, enhanced brand content. Then it allows you put in the SKU. It allows you to upload the video, add thumbnail, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you can remove one or delete a video. And then the other thing is that anybody who is reviewing your product obviously can post a video there as well. And then that's what's interesting about this, is that then that will show up to the related video shorts as well. So I don't know if you saw, but it's essentially a scrolling set of videos that you can add. Vendor Central is a whole other thing. I'm getting to the thing that I think is really interesting is if you do not have brand registry, here's the other thing, is that anybody with a brand registered Amazon seller account can go into your listing and post a video like they're you.
They can?
Yes, which is just insane to me. So,
crazy.
So check this. So this is the workaround. And again, who's to say that one of those? I guess you have to give them the ASIN and maybe give them permission or whatever. But this is how this works. Okay, so I've watched a lot of videos on this, and it's a pretty interesting thing. So you go to Fiverr, you type in add video to Amazon listing. Okay, and up comes all these people that will charge you a certain amount of money to add a video to your listing. And there's different, if you look at what's going on, you can see that this person for $5 or whatever is offering something in the related shorts section. This person is offering a video to be placed in the photo section there directly into your listing, that you pay these people to do this. I've seen this range from, well, $5 is the lowest I've seen, but like $30 to $150 or whatever. And these are all people on Fiverr that essentially have brand registered accounts that you give them the ASIN and you send them the video and they add it to your listing. It's a workaround for this. Amazon has no issues that I have found with this. I've watched probably a dozen different videos about how to do this. People are getting videos posted to their listings within a few days of doing this agreement with people on Fiverr. And obviously you can click on any of these people and see what it is that they're going to offer. But this one is obviously a video upload in the main image, right? And I haven't signed into Fiverr, so that's fine. And again, so I just think it's something interesting. Personally, for me, with our Etsy product right now that's listed, I don't really have extra money or resources, and we don't even know if we're going to continue that product. So that's a different thing. But people are spending some decent money, whether you make the video yourself, or you can also contract out on Fiverr or whatever to have somebody make a little video for you. And so the numbers, work, or if they work in the sense that, you pay somebody a little bit to make the video and post it on your page, it could very well turn into some serious conversions. So I just wanted to put that up for you guys in terms of, if anybody's interested. So there's that. Any other questions about that? Because I think that's kind of a cool thing that I don't hear anybody else talking about.
Yeah, no, that's cool, Stuart. I know somebody who can make some videos.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's awesome. Yes, Wayne. And so maybe we'll do a combo for Blue Sky. I'll do the 3PL with our steel building here, and everybody can ship me all their products, and we'll assemble everything and send it off to FBA. Wayne can do videos and listing optimizations and anything else that we got going on. I love it. All right, so anyway, there's that. Let's see.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, please.
It's Debbie. So you're saying if someone's brand registered, they can post a video on your listing?
Yeah. How crazy.
And can you take it off, or is it only they can take it off?
I don't know, because I haven't gotten there yet. I would assume that it's your listing and you can probably take it off. And so maybe, again, it's a weird thing that I don't really understand why Amazon would allow somebody else to go into your listing. Again, I get it that Amazon owns the listing and it's not your listing, et cetera, but it just seems like it opens the door for a lot of abuse, and I don't really understand why they would do that. But at this point, shy of somebody abusing that, it's potentially a tool that we can use to really bump sales. And what I noticed was that a lot of those videos on the on that scroll of what did they call it? Not sponsored, whatever, related videos or something like that. Related stories, I think is what they called it. A lot of those are like 5-6 minutes, like really long. And everything that we've been seeing says better to go less than a minute. Anything less than a minute in terms of a product video, whether it's going to be in your listing, on the side or anywhere. You wouldn't. I don't know why you would do a 5-6 minute video when, for the most part, people don't have those kinds of attention spans. And if you're essentially just trying to sell your product, it just adds a nice element to your listing.
Did you actually see anywhere that we are able to upload a video to our listing?
Only if you have brand registry. That's why you have to pay somebody else who's brand registered. And that's what's so crazy is that, so here's almost another reason to go brand registry, because guess what? Then you can pimp yourself out on Fiverr for $1.50 a pop and make your money back, where 10 uploads for $100 a pop or whatever, and all of a sudden you're getting close to recouping some of that revenue. So I mean, it's just really interesting. And again, I think we can revisit that, and I want you guys to maybe do a little research on that. Maybe we can come back next week and talk about it. Again, for this one product that I have listed right now, it's really just our Etsy product, and it doesn't make sense for me to like do a whole video thing unless we just do a quickie, on the phone and try and upload it. And this is the other thing. I was talking with Sophie recently, and she mentioned that where we have been really wary of having each other post reviews on our products and things like that. Sophie was like, yeah, go for it, whatever. And what's interesting is even if you have not purchased a product, it seems like you can review a product, although then it is unverified. Meaning, you haven't bought the product, but you can post a review. So it's just an interesting thing. And then in terms of like Mary, I know that that Mark purchased one of your products, right? He was kind enough to purchase one of mine too. But this concept of, at first I was like, oh, I don't want to ask him to post a review, because we've been, taught, don't have friends or family post reviews. Evelyn, do you remember that email that you shared with us, maybe a month and a half ago or something like that, that addressed that specifically? And yet, I just got the thumbs up to have, so like all of us, we can all review our own each other's products and things like that. So interesting. What's your thought on that, Evelyn?
We're gonna have to do that. I must confess. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mary and I actually bought each other's items, and we reviewed each other's items with photos, and that bumped up, you know, my numbers.
Sweet. What about video? Post a video.
Yes,
Take
Mary.
it and just take a phone.
Now I got to take a video.
Yeah, review video. That'd be cool. Yeah, Stuart, I concur. Sophie said that on our AX10 call the other night too.
I think as long as you're a verified purchaser, that should all be pretty safe and pretty valid reviews for each other.
Are you a Prime user, Mary? Do you
Yeah.
have Prime? Me too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that maybe that's what helps to be, you know, a verified user. You buy Prime and, you know.
Well, yeah, Amazon does track your history of reviewing products also, and shows that to, you know, like that 1-star review I got. I was able to click through down to see who left the review because their name was posted there, and it showed like kind of like a performance scale, I guess. You know, how many reviews does this person post on Amazon? What level of reviews are they posting, and that kind of thing. So, you know, unless they change their name a lot, at least Amazon does keep track of them. So you'd be able to see, and maybe if it was someone who was putting all these 1-star reviews out there, that maybe Amazon would shut them down. You know, you can always hope.
I'm gonna have Javier go and wash the car, put the bandana on.
Take a video.
Take a video. Oh my God, that's awesome. So yeah, I think this is an ongoing topic in terms of the ways that we as a community can help each other out as sellers, especially those of us that, you know, which is most of us, right, that are first listing products and trying to you know, bump up our rankings and all that kind of stuff. And so we've got 10 sales on that product right now in the last few days, and no reviews as of yet. And so we'll see how all that goes. But yeah, maybe we can create some sort of what would you call it? A review club or something that we can help each other out, or in ways that obviously is not in violation. And we'd have to do a lot more research to make sure that we felt comfortable about doing that, so that we're not screwing each other over or getting our accounts suspended or whatever.
Yeah. I guess a question too, Stuart, is once we have products listed, like where do we let each other know? Should we set up another Facebook group or advertise them?
I think it's kind of a private messaging thing. I don't know everybody's going to be comfortable about showing all their products to the whole group. No,
and I think maybe that can be maybe an email thing where, you know, we just whatever, there's, I don't know, 10 or 15 of us or whatever it is that we dial back down to just, you know, the few people, and we set some ground rules about how that could work. Yeah, and let's just digest that, because I think that there's some possibilities for that, and I'm up for anything to help anybody else. And you know, if we can set something up that that just works for everybody, that's in compliance and is not what would you call that? You know, walking any fine lines. You know, because obviously there's a lot at stake for all of us, right?
Yeah. Sharon, I want to know when you get yours posted.
Well, it'll have to arrive from India first, and it hasn't even left those shores.
Oh no.
Karen, how's it going?
It's been really, really slow. So it is fine. We're making progress. I asked them when the date for the bill of lading is, and they've not responded. So apparently it's in the outer carton, the master carton, and who knows what happens after that. But yeah, I'm in no rush. I'm still working on my listing. I'm good.
Awesome. That's great. The other thing I think we could do is like maybe like a peer review listing optimization kind of thing where and maybe we started on that in the earlier days where we none of us really had the level of experience to be able to really do that in a real way. But I think we're at the point now where at least some of us are pretty dialed in to listings. And so maybe we do, like at a certain point, we do something where somebody is cool to like show their product, and we all brainstorm it and help really, help people optimize their listings. And that's just another thought. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to mention is that there's a couple of new tools on Helium 10, and we talked a little bit about Keyword Tracker. And since you guys have already seen my product or whatever, I'll, if you don't mind, I'll share screen and I'll show you what I got going on here. Let's see. Okay, you guys see this, right? So on the main Helium 10 dashboard page, which again is a little different than your extension, right? But you have to drop down here and do launch Helium 10 tools, and then you get the dashboard here, or you can just go to members.helium10.com. There's a couple of new tools. You can get alerts for product monitoring. I haven't really played around with that yet. But I have been playing around with Keyword Tracker, and I'll click on that just to show you guys. What you have to do with Keyword Tracker is you have to set up what it's called market MWS, marketplace web services, where you're essentially connecting your Helium 10 account.
Oh.
So there you go. Now you can see that this is my Amazon seller account that is connected to our Helium 10 account. And if you haven't done this yet, you can even connect your PPC accounts so that you can manage your pay-per-click campaigns through Helium 10. I haven't quite gotten there yet, but at some point we'll do a gig on that too, because I think it's cool. But essentially, if you go here, and again, it's on your connected accounts. You guys see that? And if you go to Keyword Tracker and there's nothing there, and you try to add an ASIN, it'll say, "Whoa, you need to connect your Amazon account," and it'll essentially prompt you through a number of steps. And so what you would do is you choose the display name, you put your marketplace, you click next, and then it essentially gives you a step-by-step what you have to do with Amazon. There's a key, there's like a code, there's a merchant number, there's all these different things. You have to put the right marketplace and all this kind of stuff. And then what that does is then it connects your Helium 10 account to your Amazon account. And then what you can do in here once you're in, and again, you just add the ASIN, you can delete it, or you can add other products, right? Same kind of deal. You put the ASIN of your product. You put the keywords. You can either import them or you can do them one per line. For this, really, it was just a little test just to see what was going on. You'll notice I got three keywords in the top 50. I got 1,200 keywords, 1,200 search volume in the top 50. Once you add the ASIN, you click on this little blue thing, and you'll notice that I set in 12 different keywords or key phrases for this. You can click it based on organic rank. Shows me that I'm number 33 for this one, 38 for that one, right? And for the most part, up until about 60 or so, that's page one. And then the interesting thing, again, you can continue to add key phrases for this. These were really just my dozen top key phrases. And then the other thing is that if you're doing sponsored ads or pay-per-click, then it also allows you come on, where is that? Oh, maybe I'm not ranking anything for sponsored ads for this. Let's see. Maybe I'll refresh it. Because not all that long ago, there were things that were for sponsored ads. Oh, you know what it is? I have a very small PPC campaign going on. So it's I only have a $5 limit. And we can talk about auto PPC campaigns and stuff on a future session. But so my gig right now is that, you know, for a $5 PPC campaign, once you've spent your $5, then your listing goes, your sponsored ad goes away. Did you guys know that? Right?
Yeah.
So that if you, once you run out of your budget for your daily budget, then that ad is no longer being displayed until the next day, because if you have a daily limit, right? So that's just something to think about. And then the other thing I'll show you here is I used Cerebro, which I thought was really interesting, and I took my own ASIN, right, and I put it in Cerebro, and what I got was, and let me refresh here just to show you. Is, let's see, organic rank, low to high. So here it shows me I'm #1 on this key phrase, number 6, number 7, number whatever. So check this out. Even though I targeted on Keyword Tracker a dozen key phrases, right? None of these were the ones that I was tracking on Keyword Tracker. And what's interesting is I'm on page 1 for, you know, 50, 60 key phrases that I wasn't even really thinking about. So if I wanted to track those particular key phrases, then I would copy them out of Cerebro. I would then add them to my keyword tracker, and then you can be tracking those keywords as well. Any questions on keyword tracker? Yeah, Therese.
I'm just curious, when we were talking about connecting your account or your listing to, well, let's see, sorry. Yeah, connecting your listing to Helium 10, basically, you have to have a live listing in order to do that. Is that correct? Or, I mean, if I'm building my listing, it's not live. So I probably can't go in and do all this data that I mean, you got to have action happening in order to have data, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's about ranking. And if you don't have inventory yet, even if you have a listing, you're not going to rank for anything.
You're not going to rank.
So we had to wait until we were live in order to do that. But it was one of the first, things that we did once we went live, was to be able to track that stuff. So again, I think it's a good tool, and I encourage you guys to use it. And I would say that the linking of the accounts is really pretty easy and pretty straightforward. And if you go to Keyword Tracker, and anybody can do this right now, just kind of off to the side, and it'll, if you click on that, it'll say, you know, you need to connect your account, and it just kind of walks you through this step-by-step process, which is pretty cool.
Can you just connect your account anyway? Just go ahead and connect the account. Exactly. It just won't have any data.
Yeah, because
in your Helium 10, Trace, you could just go in and connect your account.
Exactly.
And then it'll automatically be there whenever you have a product.
There are other features that having your account connected will do for you, right?
Okay.
And so not just to be able to do that, but there's a whole host of other additional functionality or integration that that you can use with Helium 10. Reviews. There's like an email thing now where you can, you know, it'll pull up like who's bought your product. You can email people asking for feedback and reviews and things like that. A lot of the things that I've read, though, and this is really something that I think we'll talk about on another session as well, is that people don't really like to be bothered for reviews. And as much as right, and as much as it might seem like a cool thing to do when somebody buys a product and you're like, oh man, I'm going to go email this person for a review, you've just pissed them off for the most part, right? People don't really want it. Like, I know that when I get like emails from Amazon Marketplace, you know, like the day after you, and again, I think there's potential there to get reviews, but is anybody else feeling that you know, people don't really want that? I've read a lot of things that say like, Amazon sends an email to the customer because guess what? They're Amazon's customers. They're not your customers. And that's the other thing about this, is that Amazon sends a confirmation email. Amazon sends the email, leave the seller feedback, blah, blah, blah. And there's definitely a school of thought that says that too much is too much. But we'll kind of filter that through. What's up, Kim?
I have two questions. How did you link the accounts? Because I kind of missed that. And then the other question is there any way to save that in Helium 10, that information that you have on the screen right now? Do you have like on the taskbar on the side, is there somewhere to save your information?
It saves all that for you. Once you connect your account, once you connect your seller account to Helium 10, it's there unless you disconnect it.
Okay. Okay. So every time you click on keyword tracker, anything that you put in there will be there going forward. Okay. Okay.
And there are several other things that you can, and if you look on like your Amazon account, in theory, right, if your Helium 10 is connected to your Amazon, if you go to your Seller Central and you look at connected accounts, guess what's going to show up there, right? So let's do that real quick.
Okay.
Right. Come on now. I'll just go right to Seller Central here. Yeah, guess what's coming up on maybe next week? We'll do some PPC or something like that. Here. So settings. Oh. User permissions. Okay. And I'm just doing this by memory, but let's see. Third party and developer apps, okay? So MWS, again, is Marketplace Web Services, and you get credentials and all that kind of stuff, but here, let's see what I got there. I should have two connected third party. Yep. So you can see here that my Helium 10 is connected to my Amazon account. It's active. You can view authorization tokens and things like that. You can renew it or you can disable it. So at some point, if you're like, screw that, I hate Bradley, then you can go and disable it or whatever. And then you'll see that I also have my Gearbubble account, which maybe for a future gig we can talk about merch and how to integrate merch into your Amazon accounts. But anyway, that's the deal there. Does that make sense, Kim? I'm trying to hold on a second.
Sorry. I kept hitting the wrong button. It does. But again, I missed how you linked the accounts in Helium 10. How did you do that?
So when you go to
and you don't have to show me again if you want to just tell me, I'll write it down.
Just watch. You go to connected accounts. So in your upper right hand corner of the Helium 10, you go to connected accounts, and then it will allow you to add either your seller account or a PPC account. Obviously, you would just add your seller account through there. So that's that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No worries. And I'm going to stop that for a minute. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling?
Great.
I'm going to lower your hand, Kim, just because maybe you can lower your hand. All right, gotcha.
Thank
no worries.
you.
That's my OCD, right? I'm like, oh God, no hand left up. Okay. And then the other cool Helium 10 tool that I wanted to show you guys is, let's go back. Go back. Portals. So do you remember maybe last week we talked a little bit about landing pages?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys remember that? Well, Helium 10 is now offering an integrated landing page builder, which I think is pretty cool. So I mean, you know, and we can talk about Shopify, and we'll do all kinds of other stuff like that. But in theory, if you don't want to have a Shopify store, you can still create a landing page in Portals. And it's kind of a new thing. And so, you know, you'd have to, you know, I've watched some videos on this already. But essentially you can create a new portal. Let's see. Create new portal, right? And you would want, you know, a sales page, or you can do an opt-in page, which essentially, right? Do you guys remember when we talked about landing pages? The number one function of a landing page is to capture data from potential clients and for leads and things like that. So if you have a landing page and it doesn't have an email sign up, you're missing the boat, or you're not really taking advantage of those things, right? But essentially for us, you might do, you know, product sales page, but you want to make sure that you still have an email opt-in so that people can sign up, so that then you can collect leads to be able to send emails and things like that. What's cool is that there's templates. Let's see. You can add your product URL here, right, for Amazon. You can create a custom product. Again, I've watched a few of these videos already. I'm not going to say I'm an expert in this, but I did like the idea that, you know, you can upload your own, you can create your own marketplace, you know, your own data and images and all kinds of stuff. And essentially what happens is it goes to Helium 10's portal site, which essentially then you would have to promote, right? I mean, that's the thing, whether you're talking about, you know, Shopify or any other kind of off-platform gig, is that, you know, you then have to promote that. I'm going to stop the share here for a minute.
Can I ask a quick question, just a little bit off topic? I am typically a Mac user, but I built my business logo and everything through Wix and GoDaddy. I don't know. So it was my email, my Mazel email is through Microsoft Office, right? And I'm not super familiar. Like I kind of had to learn that like email platform, but I'm trying to add, I have another email, like it's info@, but I can't figure out how to add my email to that. You know, so as we're creating like this landing page, and you may not want it to be your Therese at, you know, your business. You want to use your info@, but I can't figure out how to add that in the Microsoft platform. Does that make sense?
Well, it sounded like you were building a site on Wix.
Yeah. So I built my logo and everything through Wix, and so then they set up my email, but their platform is not like a Gmail platform. It's in Microsoft Office. Mm-hmm. And I can't figure out how to set up my email, like the info@. I have my regular.
When you say set it up, do you mean like, where do you mean? Do you mean on like your email program on your desktop?
Yeah. So like with Gmail, right? Like I just click on the little icon and you can add account, right? And it's super easy and straightforward. But on Microsoft, I just can't figure out. Anyway, I know that's a little bit off topic, but if somebody has a quick couple of comments.
That's easy enough. And I'm happy to flip that to anybody, or, you know, I'll sit back for half a second if anybody wants to answer that. Any other Mac users? I'm a total Mac guy. Right? So you're saying you are a Mac user, right?
I'm a total Mac user, yeah. So I can't, like, learning the Microsoft Office.
So if you go...
Or the Outlook, excuse me, Outlook. Yeah, basically Microsoft Outlook. So
right. So there's a couple things you can do. One I would mention is that if you go to your Mac Mail program, and why don't you share your screen for a second, Therese? I hope I have that set up, but maybe you could do that real quick if you wanted to.
Okay, let's see. I really am not, let's see, I scroll down here and go to share screen and this one and share.
There it is.
Okay.
Okay, so that's so funny. Is that your Mac Mail program? It doesn't look like that to me, is it?
This is the Outlook Microsoft Outlook. So my tip, like where I would normally go for mail would be.
Got it. Don't worry about that. So what you got to do is go to your either options, tools. Let me see what you got here.
Accounts.
Yeah.
So funny. I've just been looking along this prompter up here, like, where is it? Where is it? I wasn't even thinking that. So
Something else should pop up there in a second, right? I mean,
advanced.
Well, no, I mean, you hit accounts. There it is. So that's your Exchange account. I want you to be able to, yeah, just cancel out of that. I want you to be able to add a new account. Go back to tools. Account. Is there preferences? Preferences. Let's see what you get there. And Therese, if we don't grab this right away, I'll
We're
work
fine. Yeah, and I know I have tried to Google it and figure it out, and I just can't seem to figure it out.
If you go to the Wix place again, this is the email you set up with Wix.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the Wix, what would you call it, dashboard, and you navigate to where it says email and manage emails and things like that. There's going to be a link that it says like configure email client. And when you click on that, it'll give you like the server settings, for ingoing and outgoing and all that. But I'll help you. I'll totally help you get that set up.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no worries. And then let's see. What I've really been playing around with here is a little bit of Shopify and a little bit of Facebook ads. And so we have, maybe 15 minutes that we could work on some of that stuff. What's floating your boat more these days, guys? Do you want to do a little Facebook stuff, or do you want to do like a quick Shopify one-on-one? Because I set up a store today.
I'd love a Shopify one-on-one. I don't know what anybody else.
Okay.
I'm open to whatever the majority wants, but.
I'm more Facebook.
Again, the way that I'm trying to run these things now is, really just getting a rolling list of topics, right? And so anything that we don't hit this week, we'll, push on the next week, and anything that comes up in terms of questions and topics and all that kind of stuff. Really, what I would love to do is, not come up onto a couple hours before the gig and go, oh my God, what are we going to do tonight, kind of thing. I'd love to be able to have a rolling list of topics that then I'm able to prepare more so that we can get more in depth on certain topics. So with that said, email me.
Yeah, I'm kind of want to learn about Facebook ads and also Shopify, but I'm not sure. I mean, sounds like both of those are going to be a lot longer conversations than we've got time for now.
And again, this is one-on-one stuff, and so I just wanted to play around with it a little bit, and I'll share my screen because I literally just started a free Shopify store like a couple hours ago.
Nice.
So let's see what that looks like. And again, I don't claim to be an expert in Shopify. I understand enough about web design and what would you call it? Different platforms and things like that. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen here. Let's see.
Stuart, quick question. Yeah. Have we got book club at 2:00?
Yeah. Oh, is that?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, we're late.
Yeah.
We rolled late. All right, then let's do that another time. What do you think? All right, I'll show you a quickie, and then we'll bust that.
I don't like quickies. You need to take your time with me.
You're so demanding.
Why don't you take your time? Visit this.
All right. Hold on. First, let me.
5 minutes. I got
to take Shopify out to dinner here, right? So Shopify and I are going to have a nice little, what are we? An amuse-bouche. Right? Okay. So anyway, it was really simple. I just went to Shopify.com and signed up for a free account. you know, they ask you a lot of questions about, you know, your business and things like that. Once you're in, they give you like a email verification. Once you're in, they allow you to either import your store if you've got like a Wix or a WooCommerce or, you know, WordPress page, or, you know, other things. You can customize your theme. And so right now, that's what my Shopify store looks like, or at least the interface, so that I can edit it, right? So that I can change the header. I can, you know, do different things. I can, you know, I can put images. I can change the, you know, essentially, if you ever done like a, here, let's see. Right, and then it should be either like a place to save that, or maybe it just, oh, here, boom. And then, so if I go back, let's see. So again, customize. Let's see what happens here. Oh, and so, I don't know, it didn't save. But in theory, that's the concept there. You should be able to change text, right? See where it says, let's just do this. Let's just see if I can change this real quick. And then there's, oh, there you go, right? You see that? So, right. So obviously, you know, you can select images. There's my little logo, whatever, right? So you can do all kinds of things like that. And this is very similar to like the WordPress or the Wix, you know, interfaces and things like that for website building. So, oh, and then the other thing, let me do this real quick, and then we'll bust off here. What was I going to show you? So on the main dashboard page, you can see that I have a store name here. You know, there's all kinds of, you know, different menu items. You can add apps. What I want you to notice here is that where it says sales channel, when you first sign up, it just says online store. But if you click add, it allows you to add sales channels, right? And so you can add, in particular, Amazon, right? And so if I click on that,
oh, wow.
Then I can actually create. Now, if I have not connected my Amazon account to the Shopify account, but it's the same process that you would do for the Helium 10 or anything else, right? So if I click on this, then it's going to bring me to my Amazon site, to my Amazon store, and have you do this integration. But then from here, in theory, you can not only link your own listed products to your Shopify store, but you know, there's all these different integrations where you can even create your listing from the Shopify and then optimize it for your Amazon store and all that. So we can do a little more, but that's just a 101. And you know, I'm all about demystifying this kind of stuff, because I think that you know, for the most part, there's not a whole lot to it, and we can figure it out. There's a good, you know, I found like, you know, 10 must-have apps for Shopify, for Amazon sellers, and like, so there's all that kind of stuff. And I think that, you know, there's a lot of potential there, and we can figure it out as we go, and we'll do more.
Do you know how much it is after the free trial is over?
Is it $79 a month or something like that? I'm trying. Okay. There's definitely a monthly cost, and that's why I didn't want to get too into it at this point, because it's not really where I'm headed with it. But I did want to be able to kind of show you guys that it's not that big a deal, and we can go even more in depth in it. Whether or not I use it for something, I think that, you know, if I have this thing for 2 weeks, then let's use it next week, and we'll play around with it a little more, and we'll see how that Shopify store has evolved. All right, guys. So we obviously went long. I like that we can go long. It's all good. So
it's all good information. I really appreciate it.
Well, thanks, you guys.
Wonderful, Stuart. Thank you.
Oh, you guys are great. All right, I'm going to sign out so that I can sign back on, not as the host, and get on to John's book club, and I'll see you guys there. Other than that, we'll see you tomorrow, and Thanks for joining me tonight. Cheers.
Thanks,
Stuart.
everyone.
Thank you. Night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Thank you.
Good night.